Hey fam, you know what I've been thinking about lately? A lot of people keep asking God for closure. Like closure is supposed to come with some deep explanation or some final conversation that makes everything make sense. But most of the time, the closure already happened. You just didn't like how it looked. You see, we'll sit there asking God for another sign while ignoring the signs He already showed us. And I know that feeling because sometimes the truth isn't hard to see, but it's hard to accept. Because once you accept it, now you got to move different. Now you got to stop making excuses for people. Now you got to stop calling red flags potential. And that hurts because some of us been loyal to people who stopped being loyal to us a long time ago. You know, we keep replaying conversations in our head, keep looking at text messages, overthinking little moments, trying to figure out if maybe we misunderstood something. And the whole time, your spirit already picked up what your heart keeps trying to negotiate. And let's be real for a second. If somebody can disappear on you for days at a time and suddenly remembers you exist because their life is falling apart, that's something. If somebody keeps apologizing for the same behavior but never changes it, that means something. And I think some of us struggle because we want people to admit what their actions already done proved to us. But listen, actions talk. People reveal themselves real quick once consistency is there. Jesus said in John 8:32, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Notice he said, truth makes you free. Not comfort, not denial, not excuses. Truth. And truth will set you free. But first, it's going to sting a little because truth forces you to stop holding on to stuff that's been draining you. You see, a lot of people aren't stuck because God isn't speaking. They're stuck because they don't like what He said. And that's real. You know how many people stayed in friendships, relationships, situationships? Because they are hoping the person will become who they imagine instead of accepting who they consistently shown themselves to be. That's how years disappear. Because hope can make you hold on to things longer after peace already left the room. And I think we've all done that before. Maybe you kept checking your phone hoping they text first. Maybe you kept defending somebody to everybody around you and you already knew something was off. Or maybe you kept saying, nah, that's just how they are. When really you were trying to convince yourself to tolerate what was hurting you. That's exhausting, especially when you got a good heart. Because people with good hearts will keep giving chances after chances, long after wisdom already said that's enough. And I'm going to tell you something I had to learn. Closure doesn't always come through explanations. Sometimes closure comes through repetition. That same disrespect, that same disappointment, that same cycle over and over until you stop calling it confusion and call it what it is, truth. And once you accept truth, you stop begging for the clarity from people who already gave you clarity through their behavior. Now that's where peace starts coming back. Not when they finally apologize, not when they suddenly become who you hope they'll be, and not when you get the perfect ending. Peace comes when you stop fighting what God already showed you. Sometimes the blessing isn't what entered your life. Sometimes the blessing is what God removed from it. And I know letting go can feel like losing. Some losses are really protection. Okay. Some doors need to close because you kept standing in places that were slowly breaking your confidence and making you question your value. And God loves you too much to let you build a home somewhere where He just meant for you to visit. So before we get out of here, stop asking people for clarity that their actions already gave you. Stop ignoring what God already put in your spirit just because the truth hurts. Because staying somewhere unhealthy hurts you longer. And before you leave a comment. What's the truth that you had to finally accept? And be real. because your comment might help someone. All right, family, keep your head up, your hands up, and let it resonate.